A couple of days ago, I went to the theater to see one of my most anticipated movies of the entire year, that being Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus, and I really enjoyed it, like a lot. I thought it was genuinely great, for the most part. See, let me explain. While the movie does so many things right, I'd argue it does most things right, there's one thing in particular that it just completely drops the ball on. One issue, one big problem, if you will. This one thing was quite odd, hard to overlook in some cases, the type of thing that kind of just makes you scratch your head. See, the film was quality from top to bottom, like really great. A true back to form for the Alien franchise. It brought back the horror. It looked better than 90% of the tentpole blockbusters that have released in the past decade. The performances were on point. The practical and visual effects elevated the tangibility. It was paced well, had fantastic scares, and arguably the best droid in the entire franchise. I will protect you with my life, Andy. I'd go as far as to say this was the kind of Alien movie we needed, that I'd argue even most of us wanted. That is, unless you're a contrarian, revisionist, or genuinely wanted something completely new and different. Sure. Point is, it should have and could have brought the Alien fans together. We could have collectively praised this film, even if it was for a day. You could tell the people behind this truly cared. Fede clearly has love for the franchise, and it shows. The aliens looked better than ever. There's sequences in this movie that are seriously impressive. But the movie also did the unthinkable. No, it wasn't butchered by the studio, heavily rewritten, or drastically changed in some way. It was so hard to find genuine complaints about this movie. Sure, I didn't fall in love with the entire crew as much as I have in previous movies, but they brought an actor back from the dead. And no, this isn't some No Way Home nostalgia cameo where they brought back a character who's dead in universe, but the actor is still alive in real life. No, the character they brought back was played by an actor who is now deceased. It's exactly not the same character by technicality. See, the movie has a droid that is constantly at odds with both our character and ourselves, but this droid is made up from the exact same model as Ash from the original Alien. And I sincerely hope and pray that this was done with good intentions, with love for both the character and the franchise as a whole. And I understand that the actor's family's estate was okay with this decision, but at the end of the day, that's not the actor themselves. And sure, I probably wouldn't be talking about this right now if it was simply executed better, but that's part of the major issue here. See, the techniques used to do this were just mind-boggling, confusing. They made a practical animatronic, but then covered it in CGI, and then proceeded to use AI to replicate the voice of the actor. Like, it's not even Ash, the android, so why do that? Why couldn't he have a slightly different voice? Why not ditch the CG face and just make a completely practical face with a moving mouth? It's literally a robot that was torn apart. So what if it ended up not looking realistic enough? That practically would have helped our disbelief, if anything. Seeing a mouth move up and down would ideally be justified in this situation because he is a droid, a robot. It's not going to be perfect. And so it ends up being this completely uncanny element in a movie that was otherwise completely tangible and arguably perfect. It took me out of the movie multiple times, and sure, it doesn't look as bad in some scenes as much as it does in others, but just why? Why? Was it to bridge the gap between Alien and Aliens? Because at that point, why not use actor Lance Henriksen, who played Bishop in Aliens and is more importantly currently living? Was it to bring back a droid that was canonically previously established? Because at that point, why not bring back Michael Fassbender to play a different model of David from Prometheus? He practically did the same thing in Alien Covenant, so if anything, it would be an even better consistency. They could have made the droid a model of Andy, and that would have even been extremely interesting in its own right. It's such a head-scratching decision in the first place that only got worse from its use of CGI and AI, which is a topic that could probably be a separate video in and of itself. It's a huge weight on a movie that was otherwise exactly what many of us looking forward to this film were hoping for. And if you ask me, I still loved the film. I thought it was great. It paid homage and respects to the movies that came before in a way that felt like an amalgamation and culmination of the franchise for both old and new fans. A new viewer could watch this and get a taste, a bite of nearly everything in the franchise, and I love that. But also, it has the references, the aesthetics, the lore, and the foundation from the franchise that already established fans would love as well. Like I said, this could have brought Alien fans together and been praised collectively, or at least more so. But while I was able to overlook this decision and element within the movie itself to appreciate the plethora of other things the film had going for it, there's many fans of the franchise who won't, who will look at the movie in pure disgust because of this. And that's just sad. It's incredibly disappointing. It makes me even more frustrated knowing the effects in the movie were quite literally flawless outside of this major issue. It hurts, both as a fan of just movies in general and of this franchise, especially because there's such good things within this movie. Creative uses of established lore, phenomenal set design, themes of dealing with immigration and socioeconomical classes. Hell, a new alien is introduced in like the last 20 minutes or so of this movie, and it was jaw-dropping, like seriously bone-chilling. It sucked the air out of my theater completely when it was revealed. I haven't heard a gasp like that in years, but unfortunately for some people, that was overshadowed by this problem or decision, and that's completely justified. Sure, there's some people that were going to go against this movie even before all of this. They were going to gatekeep and hate no matter what, and I've got to say, a lot of those people suspiciously happen to be part of this newfound Alien Covenant revision, but that's not the point. The movie simply made a bad call.
So I made a decision and it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call?
Right.
These people are dead, Burke! Don't you have any idea what you've done here?
One that could very easily impact it for many people. Fortunately, I was able to indulge and digest the things about this movie that helped me enjoy it. But that's not going to be the case for every single person. There's a lot of people, like I said, that are going to watch this and are going to see this incredibly confusing decision or choice, and it's going to completely cast a humongous shadow over the entire movie for them. And the most disappointing part is there's clearly a movie that should be getting nothing but its praises here. But that just isn't the case because of this. And sure, I enjoyed the movie. Was it perfect? No, but if you ask me, it was damn great. And if you enjoyed this or made it this far, thanks so much for watching. I truly and sincerely appreciate you, and I'd like to start doing more of these video essays, so giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing would also help a ton. I appreciate you more than you know, and please do not forget to leave your thoughts below. I love discussing with you guys, especially about this topic. It will be incredibly interesting. But other than that, hopefully I see you all in the next one.